So welcome back, guys. So we are in the preventive pediatrics, not the obstetrics, right? So here in this section we shall be talking about the social pediatrics, right? Once we have talked about the preventive pediatrics, right? So social pediatrics, here we'll be talking about some organizations which are related to the children and some important rights for the children which are actually provided from the government of India side, right? So we shall be talking about those important tasks, right? So in the social pediatrics, the first one which I'm taking over here, that is the rights for the children. So child rights, right, in the Constitution of India or Indian Constitution. Okay. However, there are many rights as far as the children are concerned. For the children, there are many important rights present over there. But the questions has been asked from these important rights over here. First of all, there is a Article 24. Article 24 says that any kind of child, right, below the age of 14 years will not be employed by any kind of factory, by any kind of company, right? So for the work, any kind of child should not be employed below 14 years of age, right? So no child can be employed, right, below 14 years. That is the age which is important over here, right? Second article which we need to understand, which we need to remember over here, that is the article number 39. Okay, according to this article they are saying that if any kind of child is getting employment after the 14 years, between the 14 to 19 years, if any kind of child is getting employment, right, if child is getting employed between 14 to 19 years, right, a child is getting employed, then in those cases, right, there are some rules, right? So among those rules, there should be one casual leave in every 15 days, right? There should be no night duties for these children, no night duties, right, for the betterment of the health of these children, right? Then proper work environment should be given by the company or the factory, wherever they are working. Proper work environment should be given, right? And they should not work in the hazardous environment. They should not work in the hazardous environment. Okay, so these are the four important points which we need to keep in mind, right, which are important for the article number 39, right, which satisfy these kind of rules over here. Article number 45 is the next one. Article 45 says that there is a right for any child to get free primary or the elementary education, right? So there is a right for every child, right for free primary or elementary education, right? Primary education, right? That is your article number 45, right? So next one which we shall talk about over here, what is child handicap, right? Some short points over here. What is child handicap, right? Child handicap is basically social or the public health phenomena. Social or the public health phenomena is the child handicap, right? Now there could be two important points over here. One is the physical handicap and another one could be the, right, physical handicap, another one could be the mental handicap, right? There could be the physical handicap, that is the first one, physical handicap, right? Physical handicap means there is a loss of organ, right? Physical handicap says that there is a loss of function of organ, right? Loss of function of organs, right? And if we talk about the mental handicap, right, there could be the mental handicap. Mental handicap talks about the second one, could be the mental handicap talks about the IQ levels. Mental handicap talks about the IQ levels, right? What IQ levels are important over here? We shall be talking about them. So here we can see that The mild mental retardation, we are saying if the levels are 50 to 70, right? Moderate mental retardation if it is 35 to 50, severe mental retardation if it is 20 to 35, and profound mental retardation if it is less than 20, right? So these questions, these are important MCQ, direct MCQs, guys. Probably you must have studied them in the psychiatry classes as well, right? Okay, once you talked about them, now we shall be talking about some child health organizations. Child health organizations, right? Here we are having some important organizations, very easy definitions are there, right? But we should be knowing them because very frequently they are asking us about these things, right? So the very first one which we shall talk about over here, that is the remand home. What is the remand home, right? So let's talk about the remand home. Remand home is that home, this is the establishment or this is the institution where the children will be placed under the care of doctor, psychiatrist and other kind of trained personals, right? So this is the institution, that kind of institution it is basically. So remand home is the institution, or it is the establishment, right? It is the establishment where the children will be placed, right? Where the children will be living, children placed under care of, there will be the doctor, there will be the psychiatrist, and there will be other trained professionals, doctor, psychiatrist and other trained professionals, right? Trained personals. Okay, that is your remand home. Second one which we shall talk about over here, that is your orphan, right? I mean the orphanage. That is your orphanage, right? Orphanage, what is the orphanage basically? The orphanage is that institution, or it is that place where the children will be, those children will be placed over here who have lost their homes or who have lost their parents and nobody is to take care for them. So this is the place for those kind of children, right? So this is the place where, place for children whose who have lost their homes, probably who have lost their homes or parents, okay? So who have no parents or no home, so for those children's orphanage is there, right? Then third one which we shall talk about over here, that is the foster homes, right? Foster homes. Foster homes, what is foster homes? In the foster homes we are talking about the arrangement where the family or the couples are taking care of a child, right, without any terms or conditions, right? On a temporary basis they are taking care of the child over there, right? So these are those arrangement, right? So this is the arrangement where the family or the couple, right, taking care of child on the temporary basis, right? On temporary basis, right? Okay, I'm just writing with the crude handwriting. You can write your own notes over there, right? So fourth one we shall be talking about, that is the brothel. Okay, that is the brothel. Fine. So if we talk about the brothel, this is the place which is very disciplined place, right? This is an institution or establishment which is very disciplined, and usually the boys more than 16 years, right, they will be sent over there, or the boys who are not disciplined, right, and who are not listening to anyone, right? So those kind of boys will be sent to this particular institution, right? So this is the institution. It is a very disciplined institution, guys. Disciplined institution, right? And who is going over there? The boys more than 16 years. They will be going over there who are not listening to anyone, okay, or who are misbehaving, okay, for those purpose, right? Who are misbehaving or not listening to anyone, or not listening, right, to anyone, or difficult to handle, okay? So these kind of children will be sent to the brothel. There the rules are very strict and the discipline, and that's how they will be train these kind of children for their better future, right? So this is the these are the 4 child organization which we should know. Sometimes they're asking us the simple definitions of these particular organizations, right? Now after that we shall be talking about the school health services or school health programs, right? School health services, probably they are calling this as SHS in short, right? So what are the school health services, school health programs, right? So they are talking about the rules and regulations for the schools, right? Because in the schools, this is a place where the children will be coming in and they will be growing, right? This is called as the school going children will be coming in over here, and probably they will be spending their childhood in this particular school. So their school will be having, should be having proper space. The school should be having what kind of desk, maximum amount of students which the class might be having. The school might be having, must be having the playground for the playing and all. School is not only about the education. School is about the social development of the baby as well. Social development of, we will not call babies, but we will call the child, right? So the school should be taking care of the child development also. Right, and a lot of interest and all, these kind of things are also developing in the child in the school itself, right? So this is the only thing over here. So it is not about only the education part, but also about other important aspects of the life of the child, right? So in the school health services, guys, we it was started back in the year 1909. Started in year 1909, and it is working under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. So works under Ministry of Family Health Welfare, right? Or you shall be writing Ministry of Health and Family, that will be better. Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, MOHFW, yes. So that is the thing over here. Next point, here who is the in charge? So the medical officer will be the in charge. Yes, the medical officer in either in the PHC or CHC, okay, will be the in charge over here, and that was question asked, right? So who will be the in charge of the school health services? So medical officer either in the PSC or CSC, I mean the primary healthcare center or the community healthcare center, whoever will be the medical officer over there, that person will be the in charge for the school health services. Very important question has been asked, right? Now what could be the elements which we shall talk about over here? What could be the elements in the school health services? Elements in the school health services, SHS, right? So we shall be talking about these elements now. First element, the space which is required for the schools, right? Space required for primary school, guys, it is almost around 5-acre land, and for secondary school, it is around 10 acres of land, right? 10 acres of land. So for the primary school, around 5 acres of land, and for the secondary school, it is around 10 acres of land, right? Now we should make sure that smoking is not allowed. Smoking is prohibited within 100 meters of the school premises, right? Within 100 meters of school premises, the smoking will be prohibited, right? Outer wall of the school, outer wall should be around 10 inches thick, right? These are the important elements over here which I am right now talking about, right? Then each student, right, must be having the sitting space for more than 40 square feet, right? So each student must be getting, not the 40, it is around 10, must be getting at least 10 square feet area, right? More than 10 square feet area, okay? So that is very important over here. More than 10 square feet area, one student must be getting at least that much space over there, right? Now how should be the desk, right? Desk should be minus type over here, right? Desk should be minus type. The desks are also having the types in the schools, right? So these are the types of desk over here which we shall talk about over here, and the desk which we need to put over there in the schools, that is the minus desk over here. How we are differentiating these kind of desk over here? You can see the legs of the child will be inside the desk only, okay? Legs of the child will be inside the desk. So you can see the distance over here, okay? So it is covering very well, right? So that's why minus desk will be used in the schools, right? And here you can see the space, right, which is actually decreasing in the 0, right? Here the sitting desk is actually overlapping this one, and here it is just on the border, right? So there is a 0 type desk. Positive 1, there is a lot of space between the sitting and the writing desk, right? So we are using which desk? We are using the minus desk. Okay, so please remember that has been asked multiple times in the FMGE as well, right? Okay, now what about the doors and the windows, right? So if we talk about the doors and the windows, doors plus windows, they will be covering more than 25% of the floor area. 25% of the floor area, right? Windows will be at least more than 2.5 feet of the 2.5 feet height from the ground, right? More than 2.5 feet height from the ground. Okay, what will be the color of the walls? Walls will be having the white color. Okay, that is also the part of it. Light source should be coming from the left side actually, right? And one more thing over here, there should be the canteen availability, right? Canteen availability for at least 250 students. If there are 250 students studying in the school, then there should be one canteen facility available, or if the canteen facility is not available, then one vendor should be hired from the school side, should be authorized from the school side for the for taking care of the meals for the children, right? Okay, then if we talk about the ventilator, you know, ventilator should be present in the classrooms and all. Each classroom should not be having more than 40 students, right? So that is also the important point over here which we shall talk about. So the each class maximum capacity, right? Maximum capacity should be 40 students, right? Should not be more than, right? Should be 40 students, right? Not more than that. Okay, next point over here, regularly medical checkup should be going on in the schools, right? Regularly medical checkups should be going on. Medical checkups should be going on over there in the school. And here we are having two persons, one is the doctor and one is the teacher, right? Obviously doctor would be there. Doctor will be taking care of two things over here, you know. Doctor will be taking care of the eyes, right, and the dental caries. The doctor will be looking for the dental caries, right, and the bite-out spots in the eyes for the vitamin A deficiency. And for the vitamin A deficiency, teacher might look for the night blindness. Okay, so regular mental checkup should be done from the school side, right, by the help of the teacher and the doctor. The dental caries and all of these kind of things should be checked from the school side, right? So these are the important features which we have talked about regarding the school health services, right? And every school should be following these parameters, right? So that was about the social pediatrics. Thank you.